All right. Well, hello, everyone.
You made a run.
Yeah, I had to.
You were definitely sprinting in to get here.
Well, I was in a conversation with someone, and then I was like, oh, wait. Steve's almost done. I better hurry up.
Because Gary rounds the corner. Post show.
You scared
Hurry!
me. I was already standing.
But at least I'm not as as late as someone else.
Here we go. Now you have to sit
Walk
by me.
of shame.
I stole your seat. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I sat so close to Justin.
You did. It's,
I'm so sorry.
Thanks for showing up, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm
Perry-
sorry.
Perry was on time.
I was taking a video. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what happens when you have people wearing a lot of hats, right? That's just the way it goes.
Hey, take it easy.
I wasn't even trying to make that pun. That's funny.
You're so funny.
Yeah, Perry, you just can't help but be funny.
Look at us.
Look at us.
All right, so here we are at the post show where we discuss what is happening in the messages and the services and just the thoughts of the people who are around this table and any of you if you leave comments and different things as well. And so what stood out to you guys during today's service?
I gotta get my notes. Oh, wrong app.
I think one thing for me, and you will know it too, and most of you too, serving in youth group, it is incredibly helpful to know what some of these things mean because I hear it all the time. Like I'll go up to somebody and be like, "Hey man, what's up?" He's like, "I bet." I'm like, "What?" So like, it's one of those things when you read all those, I was sitting back going, I've looked up what all these mean already because I have to know what is being said to me on a weekly basis.
Yeah, well, and if anyone online could tell me what skibbity means, that'd be fantastic.
I don't think it means anything.
Is it just like nonsense?
It's just a thing.
It's a what?
It's
It's a
So like,
It's
I
just like
don't
a
even know what
filler.
Elizabeth
So
means
all
right
those-
now. So.
just like a filler word.
oh, okay. So like,
I don't think it genuinely means anything. I looked it up one time because I made that TikTok
you made
with
me
you.
do skibbity
where-
toilet riz.
And I was like, I needed to make sure that it didn't mean anything bad because I don't even know what it means. And I think it genuinely is just nonsense that people say. I think.
It's just like gaslighting all the adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
into thinking that
And
they're
now they're
dumb.
making a like movie about it. It's called Skibbity Toilet.
Really?
Yep. Michael Bay is
Wow.
producing it. It's going to have
Wow.
explosions
Michael
everywhere.
Bay is-
I guess. No, I don't know.
Okay, well, if any of you know
What
what
is
it means,
going
if it does
on?
have a meaning, please put it in the comments. I'd love
Yes.
to know.
Love to know.
But aside from that, what stood out to you guys?
I loved the idea that the church isn't just the building. I love the idea that the church is a community and it's a bunch of people because I've always thought that too. Like, if you miss a week of church, like the people who check in on you or like the people who do life with you every week, I think that's like way more about what community is about for church, for sure.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Did you
Anything
check
else
your-
stand
Yeah,
out?
did you look at your Skibbity notes yet?
Skibbity knocks. Yeah, mine was just a very similar thing where like we get so like caught in our routine of like, oh, we just go to church Sunday and then we don't see anyone else for like the rest of the week. And it's so important to surround yourself with people that are like good for you and like good for your like I don't know what word I'm trying to think of. But then also that are good for like your soul and your faith and your walk with God and walk with other people. That is just so important to like remember to take intentional time to see those people and to like grow with those people.
For sure. It's so easy to get caught up in the busyness of
Oh,
life.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel that for real.
It is. Like a couple of weeks ago when we met to play cards for the first, it was like one of those things like I see, I see at church, I see at like sporting events and stuff, but there's even that additional layer that you can start to bond even more by just, taking some time to just hang out for a little bit and just chilling. So that's kind of nice too. And I've always liked that about our church is that it's not what happens inside this building. This building's just one facet of everything that goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do, right? So, before today's message, what did you think of when you heard the word church?
Boring. No, I'm kidding. Only when Dave's talking. Dave. Love you, buddy.
No.
Just kidding, Dave. We love you.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, before coming to this church and before the message today, a lot of times church to me was the building that you go to and you worship and you just focus on it for that time. But and it was a very narrow-mindedness. But as I've gotten a little bit older and realized that no, what happens inside the building here is great, but it's just a small little fraction of how our week should be and how churches should be. Because back in the day, it's not like they had a building they could go talk with. They just did life together.
It's true.
So
Yeah, for me too. I remember for church a long time when I was growing up, especially was like just something you did on Sunday mornings, and you'd just go and, I'd go to my little class and we'd sing songs and go get lunch afterwards, and I have to wear stuffy shirts and stuff. And then you grow up and you're like, you actually get involved, you get to know the people, and I play music every week and youth group now I'm getting involved with and stuff. It's a lot more like, okay, I'm pouring back into it and it's giving me something too. So it's just more the experience and the people than it is just like checking something off on a Sunday, which I feel like a lot of people think is what you're supposed to do.
Sure.
And so I like a lot that Connections is really high on like getting people involved in volunteering. Like we don't let people go. Like I've seen you chase people down and be like, hey, I see you're not doing anything quite yet. Like you might fit here, and it's cool to it's not like harping on them or anything. It's just saying like get involved. It feels so good to like really give back, and it does.
Yeah, I've actually seen you chase down people faster than you did to run in here for being late.
Yeah, it's my job.
It's my job. And you're really, really good at it. I remember when you first started, and I was just like, and every week I'd see you with a different group, and I hear you going, you know what? You would fit in perfect here. And I was like, good, wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, because the church is supposed to do it together, right?
Yeah, we can't all just do it alone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm working on toughening Elizabeth up.
Yeah.
So I like that response.
Tough love.
Yeah.
A bet.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
I
it
bet.
easy. What?
Cat?
All right. Next one. Explain a time that you have been able to connect with people who connect with God and your purpose together.
Wait, that broke my brain. Can you say
No,
that
I
again?
same thing.
I think there's a little typo there.
No, wait.
All right,
Explain it?
but explain a time that you have been able to connect with people who connect with God and your purpose together. Oh, that's good.
No, that's
Oh
good.
no, I get it. Okay, it's just
No, it was
something
just
happened.
I do
Yeah, it
a
was
lot
the-
of pre-shows with
connect
Elizabeth.
with
It doesn't
people
take much
who
to
connect
break
with God. Like, it was just so much just happened in front of my face.
I
I
mean, there's
wasn't ready.
only two connects.
Well,
and two people.
and I get overwhelmed very easily.
Okay.
Explain
Well,
the time.
Boop.
so basically, have you ever been involved with a group of people that have been able to do all the things that we discussed in today's message? Connecting
Oh,
with people,
got
connecting
it.
with God, and connecting with our
Got it.
yes.
Yes. And if
Probably
so,
the question should have been
and if so, Justin,
Explains the first part. Yeah.
if so, Justin, explain.
Circling back.
Yes.
There we go.
I think for me, it's our whole worship team.
Yeah.
Because when I started coming, I was just leaving another church experience, and I played bass over there, and I was just kind of like, trying to get my feet wet back in here. And then I knew like the Brewbakers, and I knew a lot of people here, and I started playing every week, and then just getting to know everybody else, and it was so much fun, and it still is. And there's just a lot of like-minded people, and like a lot of just crazy people, and it's so cool to be able to say like my act of worship is playing music, and it's not just for the community, is for me as well. So having people on the team also like doing that too is pretty dope when we can all do it together. And
Dope.
I know
Jinx.
it's a word I say, but yeah, I
And
think
for those of us who are a little bit older than you, what does dope mean?
it's pretty cool.
Yes.
pretty cool.
Wow. We are learning so much, guys.
Is
So many words.
so many words.
is dope really like that's like out, right? People say they dope.
I
People
don't know.
are
I'm
say
out
dope.
too.
They don't say it as much
Right. The
anymore.
kids
That
don't
was
say
something
it.
that was more from our
Like, it feels like the 90s -ish.
generation. Yeah, it's a 90s.
Because I've made myself start saying it, and then I can't stop saying it. Kind of like
We
saying
didn't
rad.
say dope back in the day.
Rad.
I think dope
Rad
came
is fun.
shortly after
It's very,
after I graduated.
Same with
Situational.
me.
I feel like it's
I like that there's two different conversations
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on. It's probably very overwhelming.
guys, please. Anyway, yeah, rad's great.
Sorry, everyone who's listening. It's just a real conversation, though. Come on.
This is what church is, guys.
We keep it real.
Yeah. Well, how about the rest of you? Have you ever had a time where you've been in a group of people who've been able to do all these things together?
I feel like mine is a little bit more like personal, where like I'll have like conversations or like multiple conversations with just like one or two people instead of just like a group of people. Because I don't know. I just sometimes I'm like, do I want to talk in a group of people? Because I just get like, I don't know. I get overwhelmed, but then also like, I don't know. I've been in bad situations with groups of people where then it's like turned against me, and I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm just gonna stop talking, and that's just like, and so it's just kind of like shut me off from like wanting to share or like be open about like the things in my life that I'm like, this is the real
Deal.
crap.
Yeah.
I was going for crap, not deal. The real crap. And so it's just like, I just want to say that again.
No, one more time.
Crap. I just like, I don't know, it's so much easier for me to be like, oh, this is someone I trust. I can talk about all the things and just feel like able
Yeah.
to like grow through that also.
Yeah, sometimes the more intimate, like small that it gets, the more someone can open up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the example that I shared at the end with that unique group. It was just us and another couple. And so a group doesn't necessarily have to be giant,
Yeah.
but you do miss out on some things when it's really small but it's in the diversity of people that sometimes you're able to have all your needs met. So for example, if you're with one person who has like no mercy and no grace, you might need that kick in the butt. I'm that guy. Like I'm the guy who's like good at giving the kick in the butt, but you might not need that. You might need the person who's a little bit more sweet and gentle and merciful. And so if you only had a Perry, you wouldn't get that. You need a Perry and someone else, like a Jenna, who's a little bit better at that.
A Jenna.
My wife. So, there's some different options that are there. So the more people you have, the more gifts that come into that picture as well.
Agree.
Yeah.
I'll say a time real quick. A couple of years ago, our small group, Layla's mentioned it before. I pointed because this is normally Layla's seat, and I feel
okay.
weird sitting here. But she's gone, so I'm taking it over. But her sister needed some help at their house, and our small group and some of our other friends came together, and we did kind of a mini big serve where went out, bought stuff that was needed, just showed up, and 9 hours just worked all day. And it was a bunch of different people coming and going as they could, and to see kind of how it impacted her and how I still hear about it when I see her at Layla's house for kids parties and stuff. She still is floored that we came over and did that. And that's one of those things that wasn't a church-led thing. It was just, it came in our group, and that's a bunch of like-minded people doing things outside of the normal Sunday routine, and it's something that kind of bonded us all together. So
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the way it's intended to be. I mean, we as the church, meaning the organization, has different things that we sponsor and different things that we try to promote to help us do the things we should be doing on our own. But we're really intended to be doing it with our groups, with ourselves. And so whenever we can do it naturally, I think that it's as effective or more effective. The cool thing about doing it together is that sometimes you can pull off really big things like Big Serve, where we're going out into the community and we're making a huge impact. And so again, it's the benefit of the collective, but then also the benefit of that smaller group. And so having both of that is really huge. But any other further thoughts?
no, I'm tapped out, bro. I think that's what the kids say, isn't it?
That also
Not
I don't
Not
think
a
they say
single
tapped out or
child
bro.
says
They
that.
now
Oh, no,
say
they-
say bruh.
Oh yeah, bro. It's
Oh.
BRUH.
And I don't know what they would say to replace tapped out. Maybe just I'm done. I'm done,
spent.
bro.
No,
Maybe
it was-
that's what
I think that's what it was. I think it's I'm done, bro. That's what my boys would say.
There
Yeah,
it is.
you're right.
I think sometimes people just say bruh.
Oh,
and
they
that's
definitely just
that's
say
a
That
bruh.
just means
complete
everything that we just
sentence
said,
where
yeah.
that would be like bruh. And you're just like,
bro's
that's
almost kind of
Done.
taking the place of really. Because when
Yeah,
I
bro.
hear her bro, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to that.
Fantastic.
If you have any questions or thoughts that you'd like to share with us, please feel free to put them in the comments. But even better, go to our app or our website where there's a submit a question tab where you can anonymously submit a question about anything, whether it be this message or anything about faith or the Bible or anything at all. We will do our best to answer those questions during our midweek Q&A that comes out on Wednesday evenings. We don't get to all of them every single week. There are times where we have to wait a little while to get to certain because there are a lot of questions. You guys are doing a good job asking them, but we try to get to as many as we possibly can. And so we'll have another Q&A this week to be able to answer some of those questions. If you have a question that you want to be followed up with, though, don't go to that anonymous one because it truly is anonymous. Like, we don't know who submitted them. You're going to have to go to our Connect card for that. And we will be happy to follow up with you on any questions that you might have about the church or about the messages or the Bible. So thank you all for tuning in with us today. We look forward to seeing you all again next week.